What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Mind your money business, folks. It's me yet again with another video on today's stock market and what's happening today. As always, hopefully you're in the market and not trying to time the market because that is simply impossible to do. So, what happened today? So, it says the Dow closes 200 points higher after Trump announces outline of UK trade deal. So, let's get into it. Hopefully, you guys are having a blessed day. So it says here, stocks rose Thursday after President Trump announced a trade deal framework between the U.S. and the United Kingdom, the first major agreement hatched since the U.S. launched preemptive tariffs on most of the globe earlier this year. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.62%, the S&P 500 rose 0.58%, and the Nasdaq advanced 1.07%. Yeah. So Trump announced the deal outline from the Oval Office with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer on speakerphone. A 10% baseline tariff will remain on the UK, according to a graphic posted on Truth Media, a Truth Social, by Trump. However, the president noted that the 10% UK tariff could be on the low end of deals with future countries and said that some will be much higher because they have massive trade surpluses. Okay, so otherwise, the trade announcement was short on details and nothing was signed during the event. The final details are being written up, Trump said. In the coming weeks, we'll have it all very conclusive. So major averages hit their highs of the session as Trump said he expects U.S. negotiators to have a good weekend with China during open trade discussions. Okay. So Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer are set to meet with their Chinese counterparts in Switzerland this weekend to discuss trade and economic issues. So Trump scaled up on tariffs with China imports to 145%, even as he lowered his reciprocal tariffs on most other U.S. trade partners. Chinese officials said Wednesday that the upcoming meeting was requested by the Trump administration. So there is an increased optimism that deals can be made before July 9 expiration of the reciprocal pause. CFRA Chief Investment Strategist Sam Stovall said, however, the initiation of talks could ease pressure on the administration to finalize agreements with other trade partners in the short term. So pretty much the stock market is just 100% being affected, not by companies, not by their earnings report, but because of these tariffs. It's affecting the globe. So tech shares saw a broad uptick after Trump administration said Wednesday it will remove Biden-era chip restrictions. Shares of Alphabet rose nearly 2% on Thursday after the company released a statement saying Google is continuing to search query growth, pushing back on press reports Wednesday that cited an Apple executive saying there has been a decline in search on the Safari browser as more people use AI. AI is becoming big, people. And the fact that President Trump is removing the chip restrictions, that's a good thing, right? Because that may allow companies like NVIDIA or Broadcom to make more money, which is a good thing because I'm invested into both of those. Okay, so it says here also, Boeing shares rose 3% after Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick suggested the U.S.-UK trade deal would lead to a multi-billion-dollar order of Boeing planes. Okay, Thursday's moves come after a winning session on Wall Street that saw volatile moves as investors digested the latest Federal Reserve policy announcement and monitored for signs of progress on trade deals. Market participants shares increasing worries that a global trade war could send prices higher and worsen inflationary pressures. And that's pretty much it, people. That is pretty much it in the market. So let's see what some of my stocks have done. Nvidia gained 31 cents today, closing out at $117.31. Broadcom gained a good $2.96, closing out at $207.77. Tesla gained $8.60, closing out at $284.82. My S&P 500 ETF, SPLG is the ticker symbol, gained 43 cents today, closing out at $66.45. Like these daily upticks, it's good for the stocks, right? Especially if it's happening every day, right? Small gains, but good, especially if you have hundreds and thousands of shares. So that could mean hundreds and thousands of dollars that you're gaining or losing each day. But I'm only, here to talk about the gains. Well, I talk about losses too, but right now we're talking about gains because everything's in the green today. All right, either way, Palantir gained $8.67 today. Wow. Closing out at $119.15. My information technology ETF, ticker symbol FTEC, gained $1.93 today, closing out at $169.88. So I will again say that stocks are still on sale. They're way off of their 52-week high, and I believe that these stocks will get back to that high level and surpass it at some point. But again, you have to be in the market in order to reap any of those benefits and those gains. So as always, you need to invest. You need to lower your debt to income ratio. You need to live below your means, meaning, budget, see how much money you have coming out in comparison to what you have coming in after taxes, right? Find a decent place to live. You don't have to find the most extravagant place to live. Buy a decent car. You don't have to buy the most expensive car. Stop trying to impress people who really don't care. If anything, they're jealous because what you have, they don't have. But little do they know, most people have a lot of things that they can barely afford and they're living paycheck to paycheck. Again, live below your means. Create a budget. Get out of debt. Personal loan debt, car loan debt, student loan debt, credit card debt. Get out of debt. Why are you working so hard for something and possibly a job that you don't like and not have any control over the money that you're making because it's going to bills because of bad decisions? So stop making those decisions today. Create a budget, eliminate those problems, and take control over your life. And invest in yourselves, invest in the stock market, invest into land, invest into real estate, invest into things that appreciate in value. That's the world we live in right now. If you want to make things more comfortable for yourself, if you want to do what you love, you have to be in control over your life. If you don't have any control over your life, you just take what you get, and most oftentimes what you get isn't what you want. So, yeah. So like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think. If you think, that's the key thing, think, people. If you think anything at all. If not, just keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully it's working out for you. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I pretending to be one, so please consult with a financial advisor before you invest any of your hard-earned money, especially if you're not capable of doing the research on your own and investing on your own. So have a financial advisor do it for you and your family. So yeah, that's all I have. Just know that the decisions that you make today is affecting this thing that we call the future. So be mindful of that. All right, so you guys take care. Have a blessed day. Peace.